Welcome to today's episode of the Staffing Evolution podcast. For those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Michael Schneider. I'm the owner and CEO of Omega Digital Services. We specialize in helping staffing and recruiting firms grow their business and scale their revenue using the latest AI technology. On this podcast, we dive into the business of staffing and recruiting and learn about cutting-edge strategies that successful staffing and recruiting firms are using to grow their business today. So if you want to learn about how to take your staffing or recruiting firm to the next level, stick around. And if you're interested in a free growth consultation, drop the word growth in the comments or DMs or hit me up on LinkedIn. My guest today is the handsome and talented Craig Feingold, the Chief Operating Officer of the Goodkind Group out of New York City. Craig, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Michael, and handsome. Everybody, I did not pay him anything to say that, so that's very nice of him.
We're glad to have you here. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your journey as a business executive?
My journey. I am as the COO of Goodkind, the Goodkind Group. We specialize actually in hospitality, in the hospitality industry. I've been in the industry for now, this is year 2026 will be year 29.
Mhm.
I have the hair that's thinning to prove it. Started, like anyone, I started actually filling orders, working in a little operational setting, and built my way up. We now have operations in New York, Philadelphia, Long Island, Las Vegas. We're helping our clients with major events all over the country. And it's been an really interesting growth, really coming out of the pandemic, more so than anything else I've noticed.
What's the specialty of your firm? Within
Specialty is food and beverage, the food and beverage industry, but we've morphed into like all positions for hotels, from front office to the server, to the bartender, to the accounting department. We're getting much better in sports and entertainment events. We just got off doing the Ryder Cup in New York, in Long Island, where we took care of the VVIPs, the Team Europe, Team USA, their families and support group, from management staff to the dishwasher and everything in between to keep them happy and fed. And it's a lot of fun. I will say, I think if you're enjoying it, it makes it a lot better ride.
It for sure does, yeah.
And if not, jump off and find something else.
And something else.
Life's too short, everybody.
Yeah. How does your company approach client acquisition?
Now it's an interesting with our company, because I'm it for every client. I have no salespeople, which again, I'm not that good, but I mean, it's building a good network, getting referral business, providing the support and the deliverables so that people can say, call Goodkind Group. They know what they're doing. So it's really the networking and having a team to support everything that we do, which I have a phenomenal inside team and great management that helps, push the business along.
Mm-hmm. And how has that evolved from when you started until now, as far as client acquisition?
What's that? Sorry.
As far as the client acquisition, how has that evolved?
In terms of, give me a...
In terms of the work that you do, in terms of how your business approaches it?
Well, I mean, when I first started, client acquisition was basically, if you go back to the evolution of it, it's, me emailing. And really, when I started, it was this. I was calling people on the phone with a little Rolodex and index cards. I don't know how old you are. You look much younger than me. Even though you have a little gray, it's okay. You're allowed. You have 3 little kids.
I remember the Rolodex. I never used one. My mom had one.
So it's evolved. I mean, it's gone from that to a lot of emails, again, to a lot of word of mouth. I mean, I haven't made a cold call, be it an email or whatnot, since 2015, 16. And again, it's not, I'm no better than anyone else.
Yeah.
I'll say, but it's executing. I think in the staffing business, especially the hourly staffing business. It's all about execution. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of good people out there doing what I do and what we do as a company. And as long as we execute, we keep the clients we have and we grow off that.
So you're able to build off your success.
That's to me the key.
Absolutely.
And keeping it very personable.
Mm-hmm. So you're in touch with every single client?
Every
yourself?
client. Sometimes I forget to call once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm getting older, but
Yeah.
I try to keep things on the computer. I try to give myself what they used to call those little tickler files, and try to and then whatever memory I have left. And I try to engage my clients as much as possible.
Makes sense.
And I'll always ask. That's where I sell. I'll say, "Who else do you know?" We got a great team here. We want to keep giving it. Giving these folks to people. Who do you know?
Mm-hmm. And you said excellence and execution is the key to keeping your business rolling. How do you manage that?
Having the key people under, in my organization. I have a great director of ops that really, as long as you have that key top person who understands the business and makes sure the team under her in this case is delivering, the message and what we need, and always on top of making sure we communicate with our clients. My big thing is communication. And I think most, businesses, when you're in sales type of business or a service business, communication is key. If you can't do it, you can do it. Something happens that you got to fix, get on it very quickly. A lot of people, they wait. I don't know if they do it on purpose, but I want an email answered within 10 minutes of that email being delivered, no matter what time of the day it is.
Yeah. People like to avoid the bad news, giving the bad news.
Yeah.
Which is not great for your business.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. And how about your employee acquisition? How's your approach to that evolved and changed over time?
It's pretty good. I don't know. We're pretty good at building out from, getting new clients, and, it's not.
So, but as far as like sourcing the employees that are going to go work for the clients, because you do staffing, right? So
we do staffing. So sourcing the clients. So you're talking about our employee, external employees.
Whatever term you use for them.
Yeah, I guess the external employees. Some people say temp still. It's our external employees. We try to treat them as our own.
But they're officially your employees, but they work under these client companies.
Yeah, they're W-2'd by us. We give them the benefits and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go out in the field to our clients.
Right.
I find that it's gotten not more difficult. I mean, we have a lot of business, so word of mouth, people come in to want to work for us. But I've noticed, maybe it's from the pandemic, I don't know what, but I see it. I talk to, people in the industry. We see a lot more call outs than we used to see, a lot more. I don't know what it is, but we're seeing, you have to be on top of things because, you get a lot of emails in the morning. Oh, I don't feel well, or, I got a little cough. I got a sniffle. I can't make it to work, which, listen, to each their, more power to them if they don't feel well, but people seem to take off much quicker now than they used to take off. And I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if you have any insight into that. I don't know why, but we see that more and more.
Yeah. Well, during the pandemic, it was like people were a little bit more desperate.
I guess.
I think. Yeah. So maybe they have more options now, so they don't feel.
There's definitely more options, and I think the pandemic taught also a lot of people. I don't know all over the country, but in our area, and all over, there was money being given out, so you didn't have to work. You're sitting home anyway because they scared you to go out, so you were sitting home.
A tremendous demand, at least in the healthcare.
Oh, healthcare! We got involved.
Crazy because
that was amazing. Healthcare.
Nurses just stepped out of the business for a while.
I remember we were getting orders for swabbers during that time. Things we never did, but we said, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And how do you see the business continuing to develop as far as, the goals you have for your business in the next few years?
The goals for the next few years is continue to build out really what we're focusing on in 26 and beyond is the sports and entertainment industry. There's in the hospitality world, that is kind of the big, pieces, the bigger industries where, be it when you say sports and entertainment, it can be arenas, stadiums, major events. I mean, we're getting involved with the Masters already. With the PGA, we're doing the Masters. We're going to be doing the U.S. Open again in golf. We're going to be involved in 5 sites so far for the World Cup.
Wow.
All over we get involved with F1 racing with our clients, talking to a major entertainment conglomerate to send them folks for the Oscars, the Grammys. So really that industry, which outside of a pandemic, when you think about those type of events, it's almost recession proof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And what is your approach? Do you guys develop any in-house technology? Do you rely on external platforms?
We rely on external platforms. We have we rely on a strong staffing platform to help us manage the transactional nature of the staffing business.
And what do you think are the trends kind of overall in the business that you see happening, or just even beyond your company?
Even beyond our, I think a lot of people, based on even your intro and you and I talking, AI is going to be something that gets involved. I personally have to learn more about it. I'll be honest with you, but I see that being a major tool for efficiency and for speed and and for development.
Absolutely. Have you seen any of your competitors starting to take that on that you're aware of?
Not yet. No one's talked about it yet.
Okay. How do you stay connected to the other people in your industry outside of
I
yours?
mean, I have friends with some of the, as we call them, the godfathers in our area, that we've all done it for the last 25, 30 years. And we talk. Okay. Some of them are trying to think about, possibly selling, sooner than later. I was part of an acquisition in 2022 for the company that I had a piece of. So, and I stayed on with the conglomerate that bought us.
I see.
And, very much the CEO is very much into the hospitality sector because he sees what it can do. So they do give me a lot of support to push this out as far as I can take it.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself one of the godfathers?
Unfortunately, yeah, I do. And I didn't. Well, at first I didn't, and then a buddy of mine, we were hanging. During the pandemic, you commiserated with everybody. Anybody that you were friendly with, because we all were sitting around eating ramen noodles, waiting for everything to open. And he said, "Craig, you're a godfather of this business." I said, "I'm not that old." He said, "You've been doing this since 1999." So he said, let's face it, there's not a lot of us that are left. There's a lot of new faces, but not a lot of left from back when we were doing it.
Yeah.
I said, you're really upsetting me now. And I'm going to have
What was your, you mentioned you started out in operations?
I actually started out in temp operations in 1996, 97. What was it? 96, okay. Filling warehouse and administrative orders for a company. And just built my way up the ladder. The first company I worked for, Tempo Services, they said, you have a real gift for gab. I think you should start doing some sales. And I said, all right. And that's where it kind of started in terms of my build out. And I always liked the hospitality industry.
Did you find sales?
I always thought about it. What's that?
Did you find sales to be a natural fit for you?
I did. It was, it gave me an outlet. I got into stand-up comedy a little bit on the side. I do. And so it gave me an outlet to practice material on these unsuspecting folks. And if they laughed, I would try it on stage. And if they didn't, I wouldn't get a client. So it was a twofold, good or bad. And, but I always liked hospitality. And learning the staffing industry, I wanted to then, once I learned the staffing industry, I wanted to bring it, into the hospitality space for myself because I had a passion for it. I was a cater waiter, like a lot of people were in college. A buddy of mine, it had to be like 1994, I want to say. I said to my buddy, let's start a staffing thing. We could do this. I was like 23, 24. He was like 22. He said, all right. And somehow we got a client. I don't know how we got it. And they needed 20 people. It was an event for 20 people. And we had to find 20. And we would meet people in coffee shops and stuff just to sign. We had no office. We were signing them up, talking to them on little, pads and paper. There was no HR or nothing. We were just signing them up. And then my buddy's father, who was a big real estate guy, he was sitting with us. He said, "All right, you got the client. They're going to need the people. They're not going to pay you the day you have the party. How are you going to pay these people?"
You didn't think
And
about
we
that.
said, "Oh, that's a good question." So we kind of called the client and said, "You know what? It was like a month. It was like 3 weeks out. We don't want to screw you up. Maybe go with someone else, and when we're ready, we'll call you back." So I had to put it on the shelf, and I said, "I always want to do this."
Okay, wow. So you had kind of a false start there.
I had a false start. I really did.
What would have made the difference there?
What would have made the difference
Yeah.
back
What
then?
would have made it, yeah. Made
If
it not
his
a false
father
start.
would have said, "I'll bankroll it."
You didn't even look for a bankroll? You didn't go try to find
You
financing?
know what? We didn't think about it. We just said, "Does it make sense right now?" I think it was,
Oh,
we got a little nervous, because
wow.
it was silly. But 4 year for hospital, 4 year, three and a half years later, I was in the business. So,
Okay. All right.
and there is a passion when you talk to people in the hospitality industry because of the hours, because of the frenetic pace. You got to really enjoy the idea of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if the factoring industry even existed at that point. Probably did, but
What's that?
I don't know if the factoring industry
It
existed.
did. We didn't even think about it.
Probably didn't know about it.
No, I think there was factoring. I mean, because when I worked for my first company in 97, 96, they used like a funding company. Like in
Yeah.
staffing, sometimes they call themselves, they do the whole back office. They call themselves funding companies, not factors.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we used starting our business. We were able to get off of it fairly quickly.
Using a factor or like a funding back office?
A factoring company. We did all the back office work
Oh, you
ourselves.
did. You
The
set up your own
factoring,
AJs and
they just forwarded us the money.
the money.
We presented them with our invoices, and they forwarded us the money to pay our employees, and then
Yeah.
30
And
days
when
later,
did you start your business?
2001,
Okay. Yeah, there were
peak
plenty
of
of
the
people to
peak
talk
of
to.
the pandemic. So great time to be in the healthcare staffing
Oh,
industry because
very good.
demand was crazy.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
really
not can imagine. I was there. I mean, we
yeah,
saw it. And then food and beverage, it was funny. The biggest hospital group in the New York tri-state area asked for help. And during the pandemic, it was easy because no one was working anywhere. So they would go through the whole onboarding because even the food and beverage people had to onboard the same way with all the shots and everything. So it would take a couple of weeks to get people in their cafeterias and whatnot. And then as soon as the pandemic was ending, they wanted people and nobody would want to, there were so many jobs. Nobody wanted to go through the process.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so you mentioned, you're in healthcare, you're in hospitality. Are there areas that you avoid?
There's no area. I mean, there's no areas I avoid. Healthcare was really a product of the pandemic. I'll be honest with you. I mean, hospitality is where we really push the focus, and in hospitality, we work in social in the social venues, in the sports entertainment venues, in corporate venues where they have where large companies have kitchen cafeterias and amenity spaces. So really the focus is the hospitality sector, our company as a whole around me, there's not one area they don't get involved in. But I really am in charge of all the hospitality business and the build out of it.
What is your approach to growing the skills of your team members, the people that work with you?
It's a good question. Michael, you're good at this. What is the skill? It's really just nurturing them to learn how to understand how to find the right talent, and then from there, the speed of it, and then you know what, Michael, I don't have an answer to that. I'll be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm a terrible owner. No, no, I'm kidding. I kid you. I'm kidding. I mean, we look for people that seem to have, again, a passion, a want for this business,
Mhm.
almost like an ownership type of quality. That they take ownership, and and you can see the difference between those employees that take ownership and have a real interest in the growth and wanting to learn more, and those are the people that you promote within. And then you have your good employees that just want come in at 9, punch out
And
at
then do the
5 or
work.
whatever the time frame is,
Yeah.
and get them done and get the work done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Those are
really
good employees too.
what's that?
Those are good employees too. You got to have
Those are great employees.
your A
Not
players
everybody
and
needs to be
your B
a
players.
manager
Yeah.
or the top person.
Right.
I would
Right.
give it away sometimes in a heartbeat on the bad days.
Right. Yeah. Um, how do you how do you identify those people? Is it often the people that you would distinguish between your A players and you're just wanting to do the work players? Do you find even like during the interview, like right away you get that feeling, or does it something you notice over time?
I get a feeling right away if someone has that spark, but sometimes it doesn't translate when you hire them. They're just very good at interviewing, and
Okay.
then there are those who you see their work ethic and the type of questions they're asking you and how they're getting involved in the day to day. You watch how they get involved and how they you can see people who want to learn and want to grow and want to be a leader. And then you see the folks that are very good that just want to get the work done and say goodnight. And it's just really just watching them on a day to day, week to week basis.
Yeah.
Similar to even to the external employees. The external employees, you get your A team based on how they work. And really, actually, for that, it's really the feedback from the clients.
Hmm. And you just sounds like you staff a lot of events, or do you staff a lot of like consistent, like almost like a full-time employee for the client?
Both. We do both. It's not 50-50, but it's getting close to that. I mean, we staff venues where we are there, food and beverage or catering or event staff.
Hmm.
And then we do a lot of event-driven business around it for organizations and catering companies.
On the clients where you're providing the long-term staffing, do
Yeah,
they want to transition typically to having their own employees, or do they just like you handle it?
they like a lot of the employees we have, a lot of the clients we have. They like having us as the employer of record,
Hmm.
dealing with all the employee issues. We have a robust HR department. It's our benefits. I mean, what
They want to be
we
hands-off.
actually do the same match, a 401k match that myself and our internal employees get. We give it to the external employees as well.
Hmm.
So that's a plus that a lot of agencies I don't think get involved in for
Right.
whatever reason. That's their, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we spend a little more than the norm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a challenge in our industry because typically
yeah,
we're there to fill in the gaps.
you're feeling right,
And
right.
they all have their own employees. Our clients all have their own employees, and they are, we have to charge them more than what they're making because we have to make a profit and cover our
You have to
overhead.
make a right, and we do. And there's a markup. There's always a markup.
Yeah, they're always looking to replace us with their full-time people. So that's one of the challenges in our industry, that there's a lot of turnover
Yeah.
among the clients.
No, I
Um,
get it. Sorry.
we find similarly, like you build the trust, you build the quality of execution, and then the clients want to stay with you.
And there's the word again, executing.
Yeah,
Execution's
absolutely.
the key. That's how you keep, as much as people like talking to me and love me doing my new routines for them to see if I'm funny. If I'm not executing, they talk to me less and less. If that was the case,
Yeah, it's not as much fun if you're
it's not
dropping
as
the
much.
ball all the time.
That's right. It's like when you start out in comedy and you hear crickets when a crowd doesn't get it,
Mm,
but you keep going because you got to
yeah,
keep going.
yeah, absolutely. That's how you build the business. You got to keep going.
That's how you build a business. That's how you build your act. It's the same. It's very similar.
Yeah. Um, So if you had one magic wand, you could fix one thing in your business holding you back from growing or reaching your goal. What thing would you fix?
Wow. One thing I can fix in the business. Hmm. Let me think about that for 30 seconds as we talk more. And
Take your
that's a
time.
great question. I mean, you're
It's a
very
big
good. You should
question.
be doing a podcast, Michael. You should
Um,
run a
you
podcast.
know
I
what?
think that would be very good for you.
That's a great idea.
I'm telling you.
It is a
And
big
and why
question.
is there so much noise behind? I don't know what's going on in my house. It sounds like somebody's attacking us.
You know,
Yeah. I don't know if you hear it on your end.
I hear a little bit. It sounds like somebody
A little
walking down.
bad. Yeah, it's we
That's
have
a,
we have we have we have a dryer that has its own
oh,
little mind. I think it's getting time to think of a new one. It's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever we got. I mean, out there
okay.
if you care about us. Kidding. So the one thing to fix. Oh my God. I mean, we're good at. I like what we do. I like the way we do it. Um,
Or to say improve, maybe.
improve, I guess. Improving would be how do you? I mean, just tightening. As they say, tighten the wheel. Just making sure. Really making sure if we have people that aren't producing the way they do, the way they should, communicating with them, counseling them quicker,
Mhm.
or getting rid of them quicker. That's the worst part of the business, but being able to cut the cord quicker than we normally do because we like to give people another chance. And
Yeah.
and especially when they say, I understand, I'm sorry, I'll work it out, I won't do that again.
No. Yeah. That's disappointing.
Yeah. So maybe being tougher, but I won't do that. I want people, listen, you got to enjoy where you go to work. I think there's so much opportunity and competition. You got to want to be somewhere, and you got to want to make an environment where people want to be there.
Hmm.
That's working hard, getting the goal done, but really making it more of an enjoyable process, knowing I'm going to work today. Can't wait I got to go to work today.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, well, I just have one final question.
sure.
If anybody is watching this podcast and wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
The best way is probably my email. You just want me to say it?
Yeah.
C Feingold. It's my first initial last name,
Hmm.
Feingold, at thegoodkindgroup.com. And that's it. Thegoodkindgroup.com, no space.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Craig, I really appreciate your time. This has been a very interesting conversation, and
Thank
I
you, Michael.
appreciate
This
your
has been great.
insight. And thanks for being on the podcast.
Well, I appreciate the offer to join.
Okay. So
Okay.
we are done with the recording.
Okay.
Uh, I'll keep it recording because it's just uploading in the background here, but
Sure.
that'll be the end of the podcast.
All right.
Um,
How'd it go from
so
your end? I mean, I
I'm
don't do
sorry.
this a lot. I haven't done this a lot. How did it go from your
No, it
end?
was great.
Okay.
Had some you had some interesting answers. It's always fun to see how people grow and evolve in their career and grow and evolve in their journey. Um, you mentioned that your outreach and your follow up currently is very manual. That kind of stood out to me. I don't know if you wouldn't be interested, but I'd be happy to put together a growth plan that works from the issues that you've been bringing up. In our company, what we do is we take the customer's problems and we map them onto AI tools
Okay.
and see how they can help the customer be more efficient at whatever problem they're trying to accomplish. Like what I heard from you, like the follow up, the staying connected with the client, reaching out to new clients, a very manual process. So we have a lot of tools that can help automate that. And what I can do is put together a growth plan based on the discussion that we had today.
Sure.
And we could meet again maybe next week and just go over that and see if there might be anything of interest to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe in 2 weeks. Next week's a short week, but the following week. And my CEO is in town, so maybe we can put it on a day where he's with me, and then we can jump on with you.
Okay, that would be awesome. Why don't we schedule a time right now? And
Okay.
we can always adjust it if the time
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
work.
I know he'll have time and he'll be with me. Let's see, Thursday the 4th.
The 4th, okay. What time would you prefer?
Uh, so you're West Coast, doesn't matter, I guess. But
Yeah, I'm West Coast.
yeah, you want to do 3 o'clock Eastern time?
3 p.m. Eastern time. That'd be noon Pacific. Sure. Yeah, we can
Okay.
do that.
Yeah, send me an invite. Sure.
I'm going to send it right now so that we
Okay.
can make sure that you have it. I got too many calendars, though.
Trust me, I know. Let's see. You sent it?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm trying to find. How do I get your name? Oh, you told me you're C Feingold, FEINGOLD at goodkindgroup.com.
Yep.
Okay. I have sent it. Invite all guests.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking. No. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I got it.
Awesome.
And I just accepted. Very good. Thank you.
And like I said, feel free to adjust the time if that works better for your CEO.
Okay.
And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. Thank you for
Awesome.
this. And I
All
guess
right.
send me the footage when you can.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks for your time, Craig.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend. Bye bye.